Well, hello, friends, and I hope you're having a good day. Welcome to John Tries to Cook a Brisket. I had so much feedback on the brisket post I posted the other day, so I figured I would let you guys in on my process. As bad as I am at it, which is pretty bad at barbecue, we're going to get as much feedback as we can and go from there. So, show you how I do it. All right, I got my brisket from the store already. As you guys saw, I was just, sitting there in the meat section, nothing special. First one, nothing special, right? Don't get too excited. So we'll open it up and we'll see what we got. I have since been educated that there are two cuts of brisket, and you want the fattier one, and I think I got the flat. Yep, sure do. So I do not have the fatty side of the brisket. And then you want about, from the videos I watched that you guys showed me, about ½ inch of fat. So that's what we're looking at here with the brisket. So it's time to season it up. That's all we're gonna do. We're gonna season it up today, and then we're gonna put it in the fridge and let it chill overnight. And tomorrow morning, at the crack of dawn, I'm gonna go out there and put it on the Traeger. So first things first. First thing about seasoning that I think I really appreciate is putting the salt on first and then mixing the rest of it in. So I've got about 2½ tablespoons of salt here, and I'm just like that. Probably too much right there on that one spot, but put the salt in because salt is a chemical reactor and it creates chemical processes in the meat. And so as you rub it in first, it gives it a chance to get down inside and help tenderize while you're cooking. I got kosher salt here, which is what a lot of people said to use on the internet. I mean, everybody's a pro on the internet. I mean, it's kind of like the death of being an expert. But man, if these internet pros can do it, so can I. First step of being awesome at something is being terrible at it. So I'm taking the first step today. So I'm just rubbing the salt in. You want to rub the salt in according to these people on the internet. Nice and deep. So I'm just rubbing it in, working it in, giving this cow a well-deserved post-mortem massage. Getting it all mixed up. I want the salt to really react and create water inside this juicy piece of meat. It's gonna be delicious. And so another thing I thought was really, really cool of the ideas was to take your knife and cut out a section of the brisket that is perpendicular to the stinking, what's it called? The grain. So in order to know where you're gonna cut it eventually, you wanna cut a slice off of it so you know, hey, if I cut perpendicular to this, I have a good reference of where to start. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that right now. I got a nice thin piece. It's got some fat on it over here. Okay, so I'll leave that one. This one's got some fat on it too. Are you fatty? Yep. You're thick and fatty. Okay, so I'm gonna actually just, pick and choose here. We're gonna go perpendicular to the grain. And over here is a really thin piece. I'm gonna go on this side. I'm just deciding as we go. So I'm gonna go actually perpendicular. So perpendicular, which means at a 90-degree angle to the grain. So over here, I got a nice smooth side. I'm just gonna throw this right here so my dogs can eat it in a minute. You see that nice smooth side? So that's how I'm gonna know which way to cut. I'm just gonna line it up, my knife with that once it pops out, and then I'm gonna pencil with cuts later. And then as far as my rub goes, which I'm really excited about, I like peppery, kind of spicy sweet rubs. So I got my brown sugar, just a little bit. This is 2½ tablespoons of brown sugar. I like the light brown sugar, not the dark brown sugar, not too molassesy. I don't want it to burn later, so I'll talk to you a little bit about that. And then we got bright, spicy, organic paprika. We got chili powder. We got a little bit of cumin, which is not in the recipe that I got online for this, but I love cumin, so I'll put it in there. I like it. And barbecue. And then we got the main event, which is which is the black pepper. Which everybody, when you eat red meat, especially barbecue red meat, you just want that black pepper taste. How can you have a recipe? Pretty much every recipe for a rub that I saw online didn't have black pepper. Next, just moving right along, not even paying attention. Why would we even want to read that? This was written by an idiot just like me, and so I can just say that they're an idiot too, because I'm an expert now. I've watched 5 YouTube videos. I've talked with about 10 people, so now I am a brisket master. Master grill master. Speaking of masters, I do have a couple friends who are really good at barbecuing. And when you check this out, let me know, give me your feedback. This shout out goes especially to Tim Kilmer, who told me to give it to one of my friends and stick to chicken nuggies. So here's to you, Tim. Hopefully this is nice and juicy and beautiful, and you can just, salivate all over your computer screen, keyboard, whatever you're salivating on. Anyway, so we got this all mixed up here. Got the spice rub all mixed up, just nice, incorporate it all, give it a nice shake, get it all mixed up. And then just generous amount of seasoning. Here, how much rub do you use? This is a good question. You don't want to under-season the red meats. So, as far as the meats go, especially these red meats, I'm going to use quite a bit. Get a nice bark on it. The recipe online called for certain, ratios per pounds. This thing is a small brisket. It's only 4 pounds. So it's not going to take a long time to cook. It's not take a lot of ingredients to season, but it will be hopefully really good at the end here. So I'm just gonna rub it in. The flavor of this rub already. Oh my goodness, it smells like barbecue. I love the smell. My dogs, I'm surprised, aren't trying to get in the kitchen with me. Maybe they know better, but Gus, our cattle dog, was just walking around sniffing, going, "What you making? What you making? Oh yeah, that smells good. Oh yeah, that'll work." Okay, so again, massaging it in. Put the salt on first, remember, and then we put the rest of the rub on. And let's put it all on now. And then we will refrigerador. Just look at it. Oh, I didn't get the edges very well. Look at the edges. I don't know how to get the edges. Fix them up and rub it in there, I guess. Again, not a trained chef by any standard. My wife is actually kind of culinary expert, so if I wanted some expertise, I would just have to pull her off the couch. She's being all busy working at home these days, so I won't bug her. Don't bug your wife when she works at home. A little life advice. Leave her alone, let her take her phone calls. When you're shooting her videos, don't talk too loud to disturb her. Because if you do, you will end up fighting. Not fun. So, here we go. This is the brisket. It's seasoned. Great. Oh, there's a lot of seasoning left on the table. You don't want to leave seasoning out, right? We want to keep it on there so it gets nice, thick. Just thick bark later. So that's it, man. I think that's pretty much going to be it. Seasoning's just falling off. I'll just let it fall off. I don't know. Like I said, not a pro. I mean, I am a pro because anybody can be a pro. And there you go. All right, as you can see, when I pulled the brisket out, it was already dry, which is what you want in order to start rubbing it down. So I just did that, rubbed it down. Next up, butcher paper. I'm gonna wrap it tight in the butcher paper and then put it in the fridge overnight so it can absorb these spices. Let the salt start doing its thing. What you're wanting to do when you're wrapping anything in butcher paper is you want to make it nice and tight. So take the corners, fold them in, like that. More advice from an idiot, just do what I can here in the kitchen. So here we go. Butcher paper is on. There we go, nice and tight. All right, now I'm gonna put it in a Ziploc bag, seal it up, and put it in the fridge. So, keep the gloves off, grab the Ziploc, and we'll be done for the day. See what will fit in this one? Maybe not. Maybe we'll have to do 2. I know a lot of my friends like to double bag their meats in order to keep the juices in. Here we go. Zip it up. you struggle with a Ziploc bag, you probably don't belong behind the barbecue. Oh my goodness. I am actually struggling. Can you do that? I can. Get in there, brisket. It's just a size too small. This is like me for gaining 15 pounds last year, trying to put on my medium t-shirts again. Woo, that's a medium. I actually bought my first extra large t-shirt before we took our vacation to Disneyland this year. So anyway, I finally got it in there, wrangled it around. Oh no, it came open again. And I'm gonna squeeze the air out. Here we go. Seal it up. Seal it up. Get in there, goodness. Good grief, Charlie Brown. There we go, there we go. Nice seal. Stay sealed? Yeah. All right, well, goes in the fridge. We'll talk about it tomorrow. There you go. See you later. Have a good day.